to get the cue from this guy.
Sure.
Hi, today we're going to be talking about a really fascinating medical device. It's called a biophotonic scanner, and it's a non-invasive measuring device that determines your antioxidant levels. And here to talk to us about it is retired pharmacist Bart Nelson. Bart, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Mel. I'm glad you're here to interview us and find out the latest and newest technology that we can use in nutritional evaluation, scientific
Not only are we
evaluation.
going to find out about the machine, but the whole world is going to learn about the inner workings of my person when I put my hand on that. But more about that later.
That's true.
So tell us about this wonderful device.
So this device is probably one of the first scientifically advanced products that allows exact numeric values to be learned about our antioxidant scores.
Mm-hmm.
So we've all heard how important it is to eat right, and the most important thing is the green and colorful vegetables. Is probably you might have had blueberries for breakfast.
I did.
So if you did, that means you are getting great antioxidants, and the more natural we can do, in other words, eating natural blueberries, lettuces, colorful vegetables, it has fiber with it. And the fiber with the color increases our antioxidant scores. So if we get a low score, and we're already doing that, that means we're not getting it absorbed through the gut. So then we supplement.
Mm-hmm. So what do antioxidants do for us?
Antioxidants have been recently shown to not make a statement about healthful healing, but there have been some revelations and correlations between high antioxidants and wellness.
Mm-hmm. How did you become interested in this?
Well, being a pharmacist over the years, I noticed that Western medicine, when I was first starting 40 some odd years ago, was basically focused on the outcomes of disease instead of the prevention of disease. Now, over the last 10 years, we're kind of seeing a revolution in that process, and more physicians are now looking and learning about prevention, because the solution to seeing the outcomes solved is so expensive. We can focus on prevention and have healthier outcomes.
Right. So we're going to put this machine to the test, and I am about to do this, and we will all know together what my score is, won't we?
I hope so. The screen has gone black, but let's see if we can get it to work.
Okay.
And here we are. We're ready to go.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is take this Pharmanex machine, and there is a cap I'm going to take off. You're going to place your palm over where the cap was.
Right.
And then we're going to talk and explain what this machine's doing.
Okay.
And it's going to take about 90 seconds.
Right.
And I'm going to ask you a very important question, Mel, and that is...
You're going to be the interviewer now?
Is it is it going to hurt?
Oh. Well,
So at the end, you'll have to tell everybody.
okay.
Here
so here we go.
You go right
Now what do
ahead.
I do? Just put my hand in like that?
That's correct. And
Okay.
you leave it there for 90 seconds.
All right.
So actually what it's doing, it has a blue light. And just so there's no curiosity, there is no pain involved because it's not invasive.
Right. So there are no tissue samples, no blood drawn?
None, absolutely none. And in so doing, this allows us to get a more reliable reading, actually.
We hope.
And it's going to give us readings from 20,000 all the way up to 70, 80,000. Anything over a 50,000 is an A, and I'm sure you're going to come in as an A.
No, let's not don't do that to me. Don't do that to Now, before the show, I was petting a horse, if you can believe it. We had a horse on the show.
Yes,
that's
we
gonna, with this hand, actually. Now that's going to mess up my score, is it?
Oh, not at all. So this blue light uses Raman spectroscopy to excite the cells and move the cells and gets a numeric value back. In fact, you did very well. You want to guess what your number is?
45,000.
Oh, you're very close. You're 42,000. Congratulations.
Now you said anything over what?
50,000's an A, so you got a B.
Okay.
Excellent. Now, how's the pain level?
I have no pain.
Oh, Oh, that's right, you don't.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Dr. Oz has a show on YouTube. He had a show in his TV studio talking about all this.
He did.
So what can you, he talked about what we can do to increase our antioxidant levels, but we have a problem in this country. The soils are wearing out.
That is a problem. And with today's nutrition, we want to make sure that the orange I ate 40 years ago is I have to eat 6 of them to get the same nutrients that I got 40 years ago.
Why?
Our soils deplete. And so even though we add fertilizers to our soil, it's not a balanced process. So Dr. Oz, in his studio, tested everybody coming in to the studio and then had them in different colored shirts to identify what 10,000 grouping that they came in.
And most of them scored very poorly.
The majority were normal Americans, and they scored in the poor value. Some may have been supplementing. So the concept is, whatever supplement you're taking, you can now test to see if you're absorbing it and getting it in your cells. So that's where it's important to be, to protect us.
Yeah, I remember watching the Dr. Oz show, and he tested this woman, and she got a very low score, and she was surprised because she said, you know, I'm really doing everything I can to eat right. I can't understand how I devolved into the red zone, which was very poor. And so Dr. Oz asked her one question, well, do you smoke? And that's what kind of did her in. So antioxidants, what do they do to people who smoke? So
when we smoke, we go into oxidative stress. And so free radicals are released, and our antioxidants are all used up trying to protect our body from the negative radicals that are in our system. And so stress, unhealthy situations, if we're under a health crisis, our antioxidant scores go down. If we're obese, our antioxidant scores are down. So in America, we find that we have some of these common healthcare problems that we need to increase our antioxidant scores, and in so doing, we have the better capability of taking care of oxidative stress and free radicals that are in our bodies, which then decreases our potential for having a health crisis.
So what's key is nutrition.
Yes. Nutrition is key.
Give us some examples of good foods that we can eat.
Well, it's been identified that if Dr. Oz scored 75,000, I think, on his clip, when we showed that on the screen, his diet is mainly green leafy vegetables and very colorful vegetables. So let's say you are looking at fruits. So you get all the bright fruits. You might have berries. You might have blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, and you might have that for dessert. No sugar, right?
None at all?
None at all. Just using the sugar from the fruit.
What does processed sugar do to you?
So nutritionally, processed sugar is a negative aspect for our health. It's probably one of the most deadly things we can consume long term. Now, this doesn't mean you can't be human and enjoy a sugar-packed product now and then as a reward. But on a daily basis, we want to steer away from the sugars and the fatties and get steering towards the high antioxidant foods. And how you can tell how you're doing is you can use this machine to every 60 days to see what your values are. So your value of 42,000 reflects what you were consuming and got to your cells 60 days ago.
I was eating a lot of guacamole and garlic.
Oh, well, it must be right for you. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know what it did for me socially, but yeah, so we should cut back on meat then?
Well, nutritionally, meats can not show up as high antioxidants. They're not in the antioxidant plush grouping of foods. So if we want to increase our antioxidants, again, we focus towards the very colorful vegetables and fruits.
What role does exercise play in all this?
Well,
I mean, my question is, if you eat very well, as you suggest, and don't get any exercise, does the lack of exercise kind of tend to lower your score?
well, I'll just give you my opinion.
Okay.
And I find that it's a combination of lifestyle and exercise, which is important for us all. So if that means just being consistent walking the dog, if that's your level of exercise, you can help decrease your oxidative stress that way. Too much exercise, excessive, can put a stress on your oxidative stress goes up and your antioxidant levels go down actually. So then you need to supplement or eat more of the green, leafy, colorful fruits and vegetables.
So will stressful situations have an adverse effect upon your score, like if you're in a very unhappy marriage?
Correct. All that does. So they went and they tested smokers. You mentioned that earlier. The smokers failed. They got an F. They went into a cancer ward and tested cancer patients. They failed. And so you can see why it's important to keep your antioxidant levels as high as possible, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, Bart, I've often wondered about this. I wondered, well, you know, if antioxidants are so important, then how in the world would I determine whether I'm getting enough? And this is the very device to do it.
Absolutely. There's nothing else like it on the market that's non-invasive and painless.
Okay, and so this is a biophotonic scanner. Biophotonic scanner. So if you want to find out how you're doing with this antioxidant thing, you might want to check a biophotonic scanner. I'm going to do it. I want to see how what I'm going to be doing in 60 days. I might change my diet and lifestyle radically. Thank you so much for being on.
You're very welcome, Mel.
Okay, biophotonic scanner. Check it out.